out of my mind. Oh, I have a list here. Why did I lose this list?
Maybe it would help you if I could just ask you some questions, okay?
I told you. I think Herr Dr. Furtwängler is the only man that can provide proof that my husband Walter Sachs that he existed.
But how could he do that?
Oh, I've not been well. For some years now, I've not been well. After they took Walter, we were in Paris at the time. I returned here to be near my mother. My father, he was at the Army of Occupation in Denmark. I shall be 33 next birthday. Look at my hair. I'm trying to return to France, but the French authorities, they are not helpful. I want to die in Paris. It was the only place we were ever happy.
Tomorrow, where are you staying? Because I'll have you driven back there, and then we can get a doctor for you.
I was a philosophy student in 1932 at the university here in Berlin. I was 18 years old. I was taken to a recital in a private house to hear a young pianist. The private house belonged to Frau Dr. Mara Samuel, and she was a famous piano teacher of the time. The young pianist was Walter Sachs, age 17, 1 year younger than I. Oh, I fell in love with him just listening to him play. He was so beautiful, and we were married, but he was a Jew, and I am not. My maiden name was Mueller.
Just tell us how Dr. Furtwängler figures in all this.
It's an outrage what you are doing here, you know?
What are we doing?
Behaving like them.
Mrs. Sachs, what happened to your husband?
He died. Walter died in Auschwitz. That's in Poland. I don't know the exact date.
And Dr. Furtwängler?
We were tipped off that my husband was to be arrested within a week. And we had no money, no influence. So we went rushing around to Mara Samuel to ask for help. She said she would see what she could do. And that evening she sent a message. Be at such and such an address at midnight. It was in a cellar, once a nightclub, but closed down. We were terrified, but what could we do? So we knocked, and Mara Samuel, she opened the door and admitted us. There was only one other person there. This is Herr Dr. Wilhelm Furtwängler, she said. He will listen to you play. And there was an old upright piano, a Bechstein, out of tune. And Walter sat down and played no more than 3 minutes of the Waldstein Sonata. And then Herr Dr. Furtwängler, he suddenly stood. He said, I will try to help, and not quickly. And then, the very next day, we received the official permit to leave. We rode the train to Paris, and we were so happy. And Walter began to make a name for himself, and it was a wonderful time until June 1940. The Nazis came. They took Walter away. They did not take me. I am not Jewish. My maiden name was Mueller. Oh yes. I remember now. This is a list of some of the people that he helped. Jews and non-Jews he helped. See? Look. Ludwig Nitsch, and Felix Lederer, Josef Krebs, and Arnold Schoenberg. Dozens and dozens of people he helped. And he helped my husband, Walter Sachs, undoubtedly the finest pianist of his generation. I will find out more
find out the truth.
The truth. How can you find out the truth? There's no such thing. Whose truth? The victors? The vanquished? The victims? The dead? Whose truth? No, no. You have only one duty now. That is to determine who is good and who is evil. That's all there is to it. To destroy one good man now is to make the future impossible. Please, please don't behave like them. I know what I'm talking about. The good, there are few and far between. You must honor the good, particularly when they are few. Like Dr. Furtwängler and the children of the good. Like Fräulein Straub.
Gee, Emmy, you're really famous in this city.
I want to see him. I need to know if he remembers. Walter, if he remembers that night when Walter played the opening of the Waldstein Sonata on an upright Bechstein piano in a Berlin cellar. I must know.
Not today. We have to talk to your benefactor first, you see.
You're going to set fire to him, aren't you?
Oh, come on, Tamara. I'm only an investigating officer. I don't have the power to set fire to anybody, even if I wanted to. But I don't, believe me. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have Emmy take you out the back way, and then she's going to get Sergeant Benelli to drive you wherever you want to go. That's my number, and I want you to call me if you need anything. I mean anything. Food, cigarettes, medicines, anything. Okay? How does that sound?
Sounds like you're going to burn him.
Emmy, take her out the back way.
Oh, don't you need this list? I have a copy.
No, you keep it tomorrow, and the copy. But thanks a lot.
You are going to destroy him, aren't you?
No, we're gonna nail him. We're gonna nail him good and proper. You don't see it, do you?
I'm sorry, Major. I don't see how a list of people whom we supposedly helped is even going
David,
to...
I was in Vienna last month, and I had this Austrian driver with me, Max, his name was. He'd done time in the camps. And we were looking at these Viennese people. They were cleaning up bomb damage, scavenging for rotting food, cigarette butts, anything. And I said, just think, 1 million of these people came out to welcome Adolf on the day he entered the city. 1 million of them. And just look at them now. And Max said, oh no, Major, not these people. These people were all at home hiding Jews in their attics. Do you see my point, David? The point is, they're all full of shit.
If I may say so, Major, I think Dr. Furtwängler's in a different category. He is, after all, one of the greatest conductors in the world.
David, I'm going to tell you another story. Before I got this assignment, I was at Ike's headquarters, interrogating prisoners of war. Then they sent for me. They said, you ever heard of Wilhelm Furtwängler? And I said, no. You ever heard of Toscanini? I said, yeah, I heard of him. They said, you ever heard of Stokowski? I said, yeah, I heard of him. That's that old guy with the white hair. Looks like Harpo Marx's grandpa. They said, yeah, that's him. But this guy, Furtwängler's, bigger than both of them. I get it, I said. He's a band leader. And they laughed. Oh, boy, they really laughed. And they said, well, Steve, he may be bigger than that. You see, in this neck of the woods, he's probably Bob Hope and Betty Grable rolled into one. And I said, geez. And I never even heard of the guy. And you know what they said next? They said, Steve, that's why you get the job.